as we do every Sunday, hours of 6 until 8, and we must not hesitate. How about that? Anybody there? What's going on, Walter? Yeah, man. Anyway, we are live. James Shannon would say, we're live. What's going on out there in the world? Many of us in chaotic weekend. I say chaotic. There have been quite a few rallies, marches, gatherings, uh, all the above, all over the country. And I like to say, thanks to policies and the actions of our president, hard for me to even say that because I can't believe things that are going on. You know, you guys hear about the big rally in Oak Park? They had a big rally in Oak Park, Oval Park. The marches Friday, Dr. Martin, I guess commemorating that's the Dr. Martin Luther King, or should I say Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. There was a march from Independence and Harrison to Douglas and Millard, Stone Temple Church, culminated. But there's been quite a few rallies and going up. But I say this to that: what are you going to do? Because having marches, having rallies, protesting, and you're not economically making a change or socially making a change or politically making a change because you can't vote right now. What is that really doing? And I don't know why most people don't and should be on the podcast, because I'm telling you, right now, they're really trying to shut down all of our rights to press and to share news. Really are trying to do that. Many of the news outlets out there are afraid. They're afraid to say anything that could be considered or deemed against what the president is talking about. And that's a bad thing because um, we have the right to press, right to assemble, and right now it seems like do those things against the law. People are making it, not people, but the president wants to make all those kind of things against the law. And I don't understand how does everybody sit around and not say anything about it? Where are the people? Where are we? People, where are we? I have to say that. Where are we? We're letting our rights erode away. And I guess, people say if you don't use them, lose them. But it's not even based on the fact that we're not using them. We're letting someone dictate, as a dictator, what we want, what he wants, not what we want. More so, what he wants, and that is Very unusual. I guess it's got to be more unusual to the segment or a population of people in America that never ever dealt with civil rights being withheld from them. I mean, black people, we know, like, probably never stopped knowing what it was like. But just a miracle that it's gone this far. And to top it off, Ella, it seems like this has been going on forever, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I don't understand how or why people allow him to bully them and to put fear in them. He's only a man. He doesn't have that much power over anybody unless you give it to him. What can he do to people who have nothing? You know, uh,
Well,
they're just so afraid of his vengeance, and I don't understand it. I
that's
really don't.
I think that's really it. What you just said. Their fear of retribution, or
What can he do to people, to regular
well,
people?
look what happened to those people that were assembling. They went to they took them away. They took that girl away. They took that guy away, and it's already yeah they let them go maybe, but it's too late. Why would you taking people away? Because they don't say what you like. They don't say what you want. They're not saying anything illegal.
So that means that whoever took him away or whoever gave the policeman orders to take them away, he has some kind of power over that person who's in charge.
But that's that's Department of Justice. That's the
Okay,
FBI. That's, you know, I
so
mean,
he's controlling them.
oh yeah,
So
that's part of he can do that. He has jurisdiction over them, but they don't have jurisdiction over breaking the law. I mean, nobody has jurisdiction over breaking the law, from my understanding.
and what
But
grounds did they take him away? Why did they have a right for peaceful assembly and it was
yeah,
peaceful?
but in their minds, I guess it was something that was against the government. I don't know. I don't know what the heck was it. I just know
I can't understand it. I don't understand it.
that it happened. But let's go back to what initially I was saying. It seems like this has been going on forever, and he's only been in office for 3 months. 3 months. Think about that. It seems like 3 years. We got 4 years of this. 4 years of this, and I guess people just don't. Some people, it's like they haven't had what they how did he put it? Haven't missed a heartbeat, skipped a heartbeat with any of this. It's like, oh, keep moving on. Yeah, moving on, but for what?
But
So what?
when Martin Luther King and all the rest of the people were out there marching for civil rights and everything, uh, even with Daley letting the dogs loose on them, that did not stop the people. They kept going. So I mean, I just can't understand where people head is now. I really can't because he can't control me like that. If I was younger, I'd be out there with him marching. Let him know you don't have any control over me. You can't dictate to me what I can say and can't say. And that's not what after they arrest. That's not what the media is saying when these people arrested. It seems like they don't have a voice. We never hear about people complaining about this.
There you go.
The media is not reporting that. They're only reporting what they want us to see. There's
Yeah,
no dialogue between the marchers and the news media.
because the news media is being silenced. They don't want any problems. They don't want any retribution. They don't want people to cut their funding. They don't want people to, anything. So of course they're gonna pull back. But I've been hearing there's a thing called Midas. Do you ever heard of this program called the Midas Touch? It's it's a podcast. No, you ever heard of this one called? Oh, I'm sure you could. Somebody called. I guess it's Rogan, Joe Rogan or something.
I've heard of it, but I don't know much about it.
No.
That's a sad state of affairs. I've been saying Trump's gonna have us back in slavery.
Right.
And we as people, we allowing it.
Right.
He's gonna have us in chains again.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna have us in chains.
Can you come on? Can you come on? Can you come on? Yeah, you just send my phone here. But yeah, see if you can come on one of the media. Let me know. Which one you coming in on? On this? On the phone? Can you get on the Zoom? Can you get on the That's okay. That's okay. Let me put you on. One second. All right, there you go. Say it again, Mr. Glover.
Yes, if you would watch this 317 on Comcast, NSNBC, Rachel Maddox. It's about 4 or 5 different ones. They constantly tell you we're protesting. Like, matter of fact, yesterday they were protesting every state of the United States yesterday about Trump, about Muslim, and they constantly talk about what he's doing, what's illegal that he's doing, and who's fighting against him. And the people are out here every day. It's just going to take a little while because the House of Representatives, they do whatever he says. And I agree with you always saying, how did he get all his power? But they will tell you each and every day talking about it. They never get off of it. It's almost like 24/7 that they talk.
What channel? What is it?
Channel 317 Comcast, NSNBC. Matter of fact, Morning Joe comes on at 5 a.m. on that same channel, 317. They constantly talk about what Trump's doing, how to stop him, who's helped stop him. Like when, what was that? Senator Cory Booker was up there for like 25 hours on the Senate floor expressing about what he's doing. So there are people out here fighting for what he's doing. And
fighting against
what he's doing. Another thing, this will not last for 4 more years. He's bothering too many people. And it's not just the United States, it's a world problem.
So, I mean, he has a 4-year term.
I understand that. But in my opinion, he will not get away with this for 4 years. It's a slow process, but if you watch MSNBC, it's just like, there was a big rally downtown Chicago yesterday. And not only Chicago, all over the United States yesterday was rallies against what Trump is doing.
Yeah.
Especially since this stock market, the way it has fallen. And there was people talking, demonstrating about Social Security. There's a lot of different topics. But the thing of it is, the people are out here.
Right.
Watch MSNBC or watch CNN. And these are medias that are not afraid to talk about what he's doing. He won't let reporters come into the White House anymore because he's not going to answer questions he don't want to answer. So Trump is, like I say, the guy is like a dictatorship, but it's not like this country is not saying anything about what he's doing.
But my point to all of that is this: he could sit there and not say anything. I mean, people can sit there and protest. You gotta turn that down, Tom. You can hear that background.
Go ahead.
We could protest. We can assemble. We can, I think boycotting is one of the biggest things you could do, because if you boycott economically certain entities, it could make an impact. But we can't do any. I mean, what can we do politically right now? Because you can't vote.
What we can do is what we're doing now with these demonstrations, because at some point, the Republicans in the House, because as a matter of fact, the Senate had 4 Republicans join the Democrats to try to stop this tariff thing. But Johnson in the House of Representatives stopped it. That was just like 3 days ago. Mitch McConnell joined the Democrats on a bill they did 2 days ago. But the House stopped it. So at some point, the Republican politicians in the House going to have to decide, because the people are telling them at all of these town hall meetings that they don't show up for. The Democrats are going there to show up. And if you watch it at NBC, you'll all of this stuff that I'm saying, you will see that. Oh, the people are out here fighting. And they're not going to give up. So the politicians in the House of Representatives, sooner or later, and it's cracks that are happening now.
So you think the House, Senate, they really are going to go against Donald Trump?
The Senate just did it 3 days ago, Steve.
With what did they do again?
They passed the legislation to stop him from being able to do these tariffs. The Senate did it. Mitch McConnell, Murkowski,
really?
It was about 4 of them joined the Democrats. They passed it. But Johnson in the House was a puppet. Wouldn't let it come for the House. So the House of Representatives, them Republicans, sooner or later, and I'm sorry.
Come on, twist it. I'm right here. What you want?
Sooner or later, they're going to have to say, are we going to follow Trump, or do we want to get back in office? If you look what happened in Wisconsin on Tuesday, Musk spent $26 million to try to defeat this lady, the Democrat, for a judge of the Supreme Court of Wisconsin. She beat him by a landslide. Okay? That's why they're talking about Musk is going back to his business now. He's not going to be, because he got humiliated.
But
we would like, as Democrats, let Musk represent all his Republicans. They saw how bad they lost. In Texas, two red places where Trump won at 30% when he ran. The Democrats lost, but they only lost by 15%. Movement is being done, as I say.
So let's go back to this bill to stop the tariffs. So it went to the Senate, but it's got to go back to it's got to go back to the congressman now.
It has to go to the House. The Senate passed the bill. Don't believe me. Look it up. The Senate passed the bill. They got 4 votes, the Democrats, in the Senate, 51-48.
I thought it always went the other way. Congress then to the Senate.
No. The Senate passed this bill. They had Mitch McConnell, of all people, even though he ain't running anymore. Murkowski, it was 4 of them.
Okay.
And he waited 51-48. But Johnson in the House of Representatives, he stopped it. Okay? And he couldn't stop it if the other Republicans in the House of Representatives say this is what we want to do. He couldn't. But this is where the hang-up is.
Right.
But what I'm just saying to you all, there is movement. When we say that people are out there looking to stop Trump, oh no, that's not true. You're out there in the masses. Watch MSNBC. The dealer. There were demonstrations.
Right.
No, the people are not going quietly.
Oh.
You know, and what's happening? Trump is trying to hold the world hostage. In other words, you see, are these tariffs? Will they be tariffs? Will they be pulled back or anything? And 1 minute he'll say yes, 1 minute he'll say no. Then he'll say if we can make a deal. The White House stated today that they had 50 countries that wanted to make a deal. One person says this in his administration, one person says that.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a slow process, but he won't get away with this.
That's my whole point. I'm like trying to figure out.
Well, I just want all the listeners to just watch MSNBC or CNN.
Right.
And they 6 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night, it's different hosts that come on. And they are relentless talking about Trump and what he's doing, all the scheme and the scam. I mean, he's breaking every law in the world. But, you know, we can go back, you all, and look at the Supreme Court. When they told him he had immunity, they didn't give him everything. It's a complete con job.
Yeah, but they did give him immunity. That's what they did.
But what I'm saying, this is how he gets away with all this crap.
But that's my point. What do we have? What do we really have? We don't have the House. We don't have the.
No, we don't. What I'm saying, at some point, listen to me. The Republicans in the House of Representatives, I don't want to say it, but anyway, they're going to have to do something. Because one way or the other, they're afraid of Trump. We don't want to go to 2026, but it keeps up like this. They ain't going to have a job in 2026. So they got to figure out what they want to do. It's going to come to a head. So I hope I gave you, but like I said, don't believe me. Watch MSNBC.
So
you can start at 5 o'clock.
So
in the morning.
what if Trump cuts a deal with them and says we'll get you the money so that you can win?
No, that's not going to happen like that. It's just too many. You know, as you all were speaking about civil rights, and a lot of people don't realize what happened in the civil rights movement. When the people start to speak, you won't stop it, and it's starting now. As I say, did you all see the crowds that were formed yesterday in the United States, all over the United States?
Yeah, that's part of what I'm talking about. I literally said, I said, you know, I'm trying to remember what I called the show, but anyway, it had a lot to do with assembly. You know, that we are assembling. People are assembling. But I'm like, yeah, now that we assemble, how do we put the pressure on? How do we make change?
That's how they put the pressure on. The Democrats are starting to put the pressure on. They realize that they just cannot stand idle anymore. And I mean, that started with the gentleman that did the 25 hours of the Senate floor, stating what Trump's doing, what that's bad and everything. And again, it's a slow process, but it's not true that they're just sitting idle and not doing anything.
Okay. I mean, anybody else got anything in conjunction with that?
Well, I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy that someone is acting on it. And I did see the crowd of people on TV all over the United States, thousands and thousands of people telling Trump keep his hands off this and you can't do this. And, you know, and I felt good about the turnout because it was in Oak Park. It was in Chicago, downtown. I think it was all over the country. And people are tired. I don't know how many Republicans was in that crowd, but it appears that the changes Trump is making is affecting the Republicans and the white people more than it is the black people. Because a lot of them on Medicaid and Social Security, more of them on it than us. And that's their livelihood. So they're going to do something. I believe that. It's
Well,
gonna come in waves. It's not gonna come instantaneous. It's gonna come in waves.
I mean, there are midterms, you know that, but the reality is, what's gonna make him leave other
Le-
than he leaves when his time comes?
Oh, the people gonna make him leave because they ain't gonna vote for his behind.
But he can't vote no more. He's talking about if he wants a third term. But I mean,
So what are you gonna do? Just stay there and say I'm the president for the third term and people don't have to vote for him? Is that what he gonna do?
he's done worse. He's done.
Yeah, he's done worse.
You know, I mean, it's obvious that he'll play that game. It's just, why do we have to endure this long event, whereas every day there's a mishap, or not a mishap, but a direct attack on our liberty.
Well,
on our rights.
he gonna bogart his way in. He gonna try to. And then he gonna realize he don't have that power anymore. He gonna feel like a fool.
Hmm.
Eventually, he's gonna go
Well,
because
I
he's
just-
making a lot of enemies in the United States, and he's making a lot of enemies of